The next two chapters deal with harvesting in federal and provincial parks. Essentially, the approach that's taken in the treaty is that those areas are dealt with completely separately from other areas, and in essence are quite simply dealt with. First of all, there is a promise that there is a right to harvest in those areas, although how that right is managed will have to be negotiated between the First Nations and the relevant parks administration. Secondly, there's agreements that there will be consultation around matters such as opening a new park, closing a park, or changing the boundaries of a park. Sometimes there are possibilities of economic opportunities or possibly cultural interests in parks, and the treaty contemplates that there will be a negotiation of what will be called a collaborative management agreement between the Parks Administration and the First Nation, which will allow for First Nation participation in economic opportunities, which will allow for measures to be negotiated for management of cultural artifacts, or for example, protection of burials, or proper naming or description of important cultural sites, and a wide range of other matters. Largely, the section approaches the matter as a negotiation between the First Nations government and the parks management. Ultimately, the parks chapter is designed to create a balance between the First Nations' interests in harvesting in parks, protecting cultural interests in parks on one side, and the parks' interest in maintaining the parks as protected ecological areas on the other side. It is important to note that these chapters only deal with federal and provincial parks and do not deal with regional district parks such as East Sooke Park. The treaty views matters such as East Sooke Park or the other regional district parks or municipal parks such as Beacon Hill Park as being issues between the First Nations and the local governments, and so these would be dealt with under the local government chapter or by separate agreements.